Hey everyone, this is Siva and Don from Pickleball RX. In this video, we are going to talk about the top 5 foam paddles so far up until like released, just recent releases in 2026, and then our top 5 Gen 3 paddles so far.
Yeah.
We're just gonna talk about the ones we have tested. There are some paddles obviously we didn't test everything in the market. But we did most of them, so it's just based on what we tested and based on our preferences in terms of what we play in our player style is. So let's start with our top 5 foam paddles we have tested so far. Let's start with Don. What are your top 5?
All right.
Let's start with number 5.
Bear in mind, I'm not as good as Siva. I'm not an advanced player by
He is.
Again, these are just paddles that we've got to play with, and we actually got to test and keep in our bag. So starting at number 5 on the full foam list here, I will probably put us at the. Ooh, this is a tough one. I'm gonna go with the Triton 5 actually right now.
Okay.
And the only reason I got it as a number 5, even though I play a lot with it, it's just not an easy paddle to get in the market right now. It's all distributed through Asia, and it's not readily available like most of the other paddles on the list. That's the only reason I really got number 5.
So the availability of the paddle.
Yeah, it's really a killer. Because if it was in the States, I'd probably get 3 of these.
Alright. Number 5 is Triton 5.
Okay.
Alright, number 4.
Number 4, I'm actually going to start with the stand-up paddle. To me, I've been so used to the Boomstick. Going back to something a little bit softer kind of threw me off a little bit. And that's just preference. Again, that's just my take on the paddle. I like a stiffer paddle now. I definitely changed my game up a little bit, so that's the only reason I got this at number 4.
So this is a Standout blackout full foam paddle. This is the new release. We're going to do a detailed review of this later, so this is your number 4. Okay.
Yeah, definitely more to come on this paddle. Yep. For now, it's number 4.
What's number 3?
Number 3, actually, number 3. I'm going to drop the Boomstick down. I'm going to drop the Boomstick. This has been my main for so long right now. But I'm going to drop it down to 3 because I'm finally happy there are some things out there that can beat a Boomstick. As far as the price point goes, this is $333 paddle. There's no codes out there.
So really hard to get discounts.
It's hard to get discounts on Selkirk paddles. Even though it's a great paddle, no paddle should be worth more than $300 though. That's just me. I'm a broke.
Alright. And I feel like, I've told this many times before, I feel like Boomstick is for advanced players. Somebody who, like 5 and above, who knows how to control the ball,
Yeah.
Alright, what's your number 2?
Number 2, unfortunately, I don't have the paddle with us right now because we're loaning it out to a buddy right now, but it's still the LOCO.
Okay.
It's still on my list because it's such a good paddle at a good price. Bread and Butter did such a good job on that paddle. That's why I still keep it at my number 2 right now.
Yeah, it's one of those paddles anybody, including beginner, intermediate, advanced, can pick up and play with no problem.
Yeah, they come in 3 different shapes, so they accommodate everything on the checklist. So great job for Bread and Butter. And I'm actually my number 1 paddle right now, which is, again, I'm thrilled. Something has finally dethroned the Boomstick on my list, and I'm gonna go John's paddle, John and James's paddle here. This RPM Q2 plays almost like a Boomstick without the Boomstick price.
Yeah. James Ignatovich has done such a good job with paddles. I think he's taken the paddles to the next level where, every time we think about, okay, you can't get a best paddle than the Eula 4. And then he came up with RPM Friction Pro.
Yeah.
We just thought about, is something going to beat Boomstick? And then he came up with this, Q2. And I think he's one of those who takes, paddle construction as a serious thing.
Yeah. So you get John involved.
John Q. He's a paddle reviewer for so long, and nobody ever actually convinced him to help construct a paddle. And he sure did construct a good paddle. And because of the conflict of interest, as you know, John Q said he's going to donate all the money he makes from this paddle, whatever commissions or discount code, affiliate code, commissions, and all, is going to donate it to a charity.
See. You can't.
That just shows how much John Q is committed to his paddle reviewing, and whatever comes in the way is like, I don't want that money. So that's really nice of John Q. I really appreciate it.
So this is my #1 pick right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, yeah, Siva.
So I'm gonna go with. So here's my top 5 foam list. As we kind of explained in our videos before, I'd like to play the control part of the game better, and then Don likes to drive and do a little bit aggressive at the kitchen. So for my level of game, I felt okay. My number 5. I'm gonna put Boomstick as number 5. And it's not the paddle problem. It's not the paddle. It's me. It's my problem. So I cannot control this paddle. It's a great paddle by all means, and I always think that I have such a high respect for Selkirk for coming up with this great paddle, and I feel like this is an advanced player can play with, not me. So that's my number 5, just because of I don't know how to play with it. That's me. All right, going to number 4. I'm gonna put my number 4 as LOCO. LOCO.
Okay.
Great paddle, no problems with it. The only and we heard from a lot of players too. The only complaint we hear about LOCO is the grit. The grit doesn't last too long. I think maybe a month or 2 after it becomes pretty soft.
Yeah, you can notice a significant difference. Yeah.
And you can see the balls skidding off and all that. So that is the only reason. But for the price, I think it's a great pad. It changed the foam in a big way. It's one of the number 1 amateur paddles in the market.
I believe it.
Because right now, if you go into any recreational open play areas, we see only 3 paddles: Eulas, Boomsticks, LOCOs.
Yeah.
So it's a great paddle. We do have a discount code if somebody wants to buy Bread and Butter LOCO. It's PBRX. We'll put it in the description.
Yeah, we'll leave that in the description down below for sure. It's still a great paddle.
We do make some commissions of that. That'll help run this channel. So number 3 for me is RPM Q2.
Oh,
I know I just started hitting with it. I like it. Again, this is a little bit less power and pop than Boomstick, which is why I like this more than Boomstick. It's a great paddle. I just need to spend more time with it to get to know this paddle. But other than that, it's a great paddle. I think this is someone like above higher intermediate and advanced players. And then my number 2. My number 2 is actually 2 paddles. We don't have them. We loaned it to our friends. Is Mark 2 or 3.
Yeah, I know you love that one.
I mean, I was a big fan of Mark for so long. I like the Gen 2 paddles. And they came up with the full foam paddles. So we did a detailed review of Mark before. So we'll put in the link below. You guys can watch that video. The only reason I like that more is because of the spin. It has a Kevlar surface. It creates more grit. And even after 2 months, the grit is pretty good. It's pretty durable. And the other one is Triton 5. I love Triton 5. It's really, really good. I mean, it's 2 months now? The grit is still pretty solid.
Still a solid paddle.
The only thing I don't like about Triton, actually 2 things I don't like about Triton 5 is the availability. A little bit harder to get in. And then the feel. It's a little bit stiff. Like, there's some learning curve to get used to this paddle. It's a great paddle. So that's my number 2. Going to number 1. I mean, it's too early to say it's still my number 1, but I like this paddle so much at this point. I'm going to put it number 1. If I change my mind, I'll let you know. Is Standout. Absolute foam.
Siva's been hyping up this paddle for a minute. I haven't really got to take for a test drive, but he's loving this paddle right now.
The reason I like it is I've been wanting a Gen 4 paddle which doesn't feel like stiff, or what do you call dense. So this is one of those paddles. We'll do a detailed review of this, where it feels like your Gen 2, Gen 3 feel soft, plush, right amount. Everything is in the right amount. Like, it's not too poppy, it's not too powerful. Where it needs to be, the grit is crazy. The grit is very identical to Triton.
Yeah, very similar grit.
So, and then the best part I like is the handle. It's thin, 4 1/4. So nowadays they're coming up with thicker, grips. So I like.
Yeah, I do like a thin. It's always easier to go up, but it's hard to go down. So definitely a thin handle is always
It's like, I don't know if you played ever with 6-0 double black diamond.
Oh, it's been a long time since
So
I had that.
you have that kind of, because this owner, split from 6-0 and made, her own paddle company. She's a pro herself in PP Australia. So it has that nice 6-0 feeling, but then it's a full foam paddle, So we'll do a detailed review of this. So for now, I think I'm going to call it my number one. If I change my mind, I'll let you know. We'll put our discount codes below. We do have some discount codes for these paddles as well. So if you guys want to buy, test them out. That's it, guys. This is Siva and Don again. This is our top 5 foam paddles so far, the ones we have tested. All right. If you do like our videos, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you again.